What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Don with the Don Franz Show, and looks like tonight will probably be a quick stream. Shout out to everybody that had the notification bell turned on. We are a few minutes later than normal. Sorry about that, but looks like there's nothing to worry about. Nothing's changed. Market has been open. Futures have opened up. They've been open for about an hour 20 right now. And we've done absolutely nothing. We're just dead flat. And if you were to go to my, this is my other channel, right? So Don Franz Trading, not to just jump right in saying, hey, go ahead and jump into a, sorry about that. Not to say just jump into another channel, but if you do go here, I do post the expected move for the stock market every week, kind of give my, just a quick analysis. Typically, it's, 5 minutes. Last night was 11, kind of giving some ups and downs. But we are pricing in a nothing move for this week. Very boring week. And so looking here, I mean, we got even smaller than last week. So nothing. These aren't resistance lines, but it's going to be hard to confuse, especially on weeks like this. All right. My mentorship chat is okay. So we do these the top 5 voted plays I buy in my account. Now it's their trade ideas, but how I would personally manage it, everything. And right now I'm laughing in the chat because they're telling me to short Tesla, and they're saying post a submit chart. Everyone will vote. Make him short Tesla. We're gonna get to Tesla in a little bit. Hopefully it's not a boring week. Tesla's pricing in an $80 move, which isn't much. Better than 50 or 60. Anyway, that's buy. Here's Q's. At least they priced in technically a higher high or higher low. Forcing you to tell me if we hit the bottom when we get to IXIC. Got out of SQQQ play with 1-to-1. Felt a little frisky for the weekend hold. I don't know. I think the Bears and Bulls are probably fine. You probably have until market opens before you get to make your play again. I guess just look at this chart real quick. The futures will be a little bit cleaner, a little more filled in. This is missing quite a bit of data. I guess I'd be nervous if we did pop up and make a lower high and came back here. If we were to play out something like that, I'll tell you, I do think we make a lower low. So if we see this, now that'll be classic scenario. So bull flag or reversal. Right, so if you're bullish, you're going to call that a bull flag. All the bears are going to call it a lower high, and there's your heads and tails to that coin. You know, at that point, put your money where your mouth is. Like, quit jabbing away at a Discord chat. Put your money there, and then screenshot that and show your play. Quit trying to talk it into existence or anybody else. You know, if you're short, if you're short, I'd put my stop right above there. You've already got some red candles showing up. You can't make a bull flag without a red candle, though. So if I was long, that'd be tough. What I'd want to see, if for me to go long that and play that bull flag, I'd want to see it on a smaller time frame. Do that, get up, and then show off where I should put my stop. We got that play. Call it good bull flag reversal. So you know you'll stop out right there. But if that does break, I do bet we make that lower low, and we're kind of down here. Wouldn't be the best look. So right now we're on the 4 hour, and just to explain this, something we went over in the mentorship group the other day. We're talking about legs. Someone get this crap. There we go. Someone even shared a tweet something about just coincidentally take each market one leg at a time. Now this right here, still just a pullback. We're kind of arching. I don't like that look at all. Still kind of in this move up. If we push up, that's still just this leg up. A pullback, that would be a higher low for this trend to keep that going. If we do make that lower low, I'd expect a lower high, and then we'll start the leg down. You know, something like this. Fibonacci people will show up right about here. That's the 50. The 618 is going to be right about here. I know you guys all like to. You guys follow me, Kevin. Now he's a Fibonacci genius. Who wants to bet right now his next move is Elliott wave? I've seen this quite literally over 1,000 times. Usually it's Fibonacci, and then it's Elliott waves. It'll be the AB equals CD, or AB plus CD. They word it funny. Everyone does. Green candles canceled. If that's the case, then right now, and so currently right now, I'm bullish. Until we actually make that lower high and start a leg down, I got to remain bullish. Something we talked about last week too. But even then, we go to a higher time frame. We get a couple solid red days in here. We've already had a couple. Some real ones. We get a pullback week. That is going to look like nothing, right? Don't get lost in the time frame. Some of you guys are going to stay down here in these smaller time frames, and you're going to be just absorbing all of it. There's going to be some red days. You're going to be 2 days in, and it's going to feel like you just lived through all of 2008. You got to step back. A bigger time frame like this. Let's say that happened. Leg up, leg down, leg up. How bad would that be? You're looking at that thinking, crap, right now it wouldn't be bad at all. I'll load up when the dip comes. I will hold account. I'll back the truck up. You know all the bullish things you say and type on Twitter. But when you're zoomed in, you're on the 5-minute, and you're just taking 3, 4, 5 trading sessions, and we're just down. You're thinking, oh, new lows coming in. All those bears were right. Oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden it's going to just surprise you and jump back up. So for now, and that was kind of last week where I told you guys, so last week we didn't do really anything. It kind of seems like I am a week behind. For everyone that's been following me, if you've had your the bell turned on, you're not new to my channel, we talked about the weekly. I talked about this being a pullback week. So this was going to be the nothing week, and then we get the pullback week, but we got the nothing week. So is this next week the pullback week? Or if let's say we end the week like this, a wick up, a wick down, we end right here. Now we're basing out. So at that point, we should know, just to give it's I don't want to say it's hard to give context right now, but having you guys, if you're not in my mentorship, we don't get the day-to-day. So I have a private mentorship. If you buy the trading suite, I'm live every night for you guys. So it's a little bit easier to talk to those guys because we're talking every night. But for YouTube, it does get a little bit hard. So what I'm looking out for, let's say we see that. Here's the whole week. At this point right now, we would set an alert here. And then right here. We could stay inside. It's one of those put your money where your mouth is and wait for the break. If we just stayed inside, the longer we do, the more bullish I get. At this point, the stopwatch becomes a thing because the longer we hang out, that's more time for the bears to show up. If they're going to show up and put in a lower high right here, like on a bigger time frame, it needs to be now. So if we just do, let's say we do 2 weeks, 2 more weeks sideways, that will feel like an eternity. You might jump in a smaller time frame, take 9 million wins and losses, end up in 3 weeks in the same spot, down, maybe a little bit up. I don't know, but the longer we stay here, the more bullish I will be. Right now, I'm kind of, can't say I'm expecting a pull, excuse me, a pullback. I can't talk. Correcting through time. Yeah, and I say this all the time. Stocks pull over or they pull back. So after that leg up, if we're pulling over, we're just gearing up for the next leg up. And at that point, we're fine. That's a rally-based rally. That is my actual favorite play. It's an old video of mine, so if you're new to my channel, it's on here. But what do we draw out? So here's a bull flag, my least favorite. Because you got the trend up, and then you got lower lows, lower highs. You have a literal downtrend. You're like, no, that's bullish. Now how that should pan out is this leg up, your explosive move up, your explosive move out. Of the three, that's my least. That's the bronze medal. Silver medal gets the bull pennant, right? So we make this kind of pattern right here. So we got the bullish move in. We're holding. So bulls are at least holding. Bears, they're trying their hardest. Bulls are catching their breath, but they're telling their friends, and we're playing this. Now this is actually one of the easiest plays you'll probably ever play in your life, because you'll get it once it establishes these higher low patterns. I like to put my stop below either the previous low or the actual base, and I'll call it good. I'll manage my risk there. If you don't know how I manage risk, just check this out. Go to this channel, Don Fron Trading, click on playlist, and watch the How I Trade. That will tell you how I manage risk, how to properly manage risk. You'll probably figure out what you're doing is very wrong, at least just in my opinion. And this will probably make a lot more sense to you. But silver place, first place, what I just mentioned, you get the rally, you get the base, and then you get the rally again. Now this is awesome because like I just showed off here, you could set your alerts here and here. If I am short, I'd put my stop here. If I'm going long, I put my stop here. It will be one of the two. That's the perks of the stock market. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. You're either going to manage your risk properly and take a small L right here, or you're going to catch that leg up, trail it, and just stay on the gain train until it turns around. If it forms yet another one, you get to add on. Guess what's round 2? And you just get to keep on going. And those are some of the best plays where it's just rally after rally after rally. This sucks because if you get a bull flag, it'll probably tag you out somewhere in your trailing. Right here, you'll understand, oh, here's a higher low. Let me just leave my stop there and let that pan out. Leave my stop below that zone, let that pan out, and even add on. Anyway. Yeah, like chart for SPX 500 right above your head, rally, base rally. Let's see. I am short 2 MYM from last week. Are you trading the Dow? So if I'm trading almost a great example of what I just talked about. We're on the weekly, so that's a pretty wide range. But you know the high is here. Let's make that bright. Sorry. Well, let's go back to here. And you know your low is here. Just imagine how many trades, especially if you're trading futures contracts. How many trades did you take inside here? That's a bullish candle. It ended up and then down, closed down. Collectively, we went nowhere. We're just over half a month, and if you just bought, didn't have a stop, and closed your eyes, you're still in the same spot. I went long Friday, back to red futures. Futures are fake because we're back in the buy the red candle market until we're not. We are. Chat is quiet tonight. You say you put your stop at the base of the flag formation. How are you doing that with options? Probably not. Checking the price of the base and putting a stop at that price. No, options are a little bit different. Options are, well, let me tell you why that would suck with options. Let's say this happens for a couple more weeks. You grab 30 days out, you're just eating time off the clock. Theta Gang is probably writing about you somewhere, talking about how they took your money. And they did. They took your $50 worth of Theta for the next 3 weeks. So how I'm playing that with options is probably more a breakout play. So, just because those lines are too squiggly. Here's the move up. Now, when I see this happening, I'm thinking, here we go. Right about here, I'm probably going to start buying contracts. Now, I'll have an alert right here, because that's my time to probably just close that contract, salvage it for whatever it's left. But the last thing I want to do, now I buy 30 days out. So if I'm on the hourly candle doing this, I'm fine. But 4-hour candle doing this, that's going to eat some time off the clock. So I like to time my options. The cool thing about shares is you guys could probably follow half the YouTubers. And as long as you bag held, their excuses work as long as they don't pick some absolute crap and the market's not crashing and correcting. But they got plenty of excuses for that. You know, oh, just hold, it's a great company, this is a steal, this doesn't even make sense, this is a bargain, I'm buying all the shares here, I'm super bullish this. Guys, don't worry, this is a long-term play. I know you're red 50, 70, 80%, but this is a long-term play. They love excuses like that. Pull that crap with options and you'll just blow your account because you just gave yourself a deadline. So if you give yourself a deadline, like, not only is that going to expire, that move needs to happen within a certain time because each day you are wrong is each day theta is kicking in. Each day those deltas just get a little bit, because your deltas are going to expire at 0 or 1. That's it. It is racing to 0 or 1. And every day you're there, it's going to just get a little bit more lively and start running up and down. So, again, with options, what I do is I'll try to time it the best I can, but then I set alerts. Once they're in the green, at that point, everything I do, I trail on candles. And I do the same because on TradeStation, I can see the candles of the options contract. The spreads they're ridiculous. So like it's not uncommon for me to be up $3,000 on Amazon, and it's just, you know, I like making $2,000, so I put my stop at the $2,000 mark. Yes, I'm up 3,000. Some of you guys have a really bad habit of watching your P&L, basing your trades off that P&L. You are not up 3,000. You are not, whatever your P&L says, you are not up that at all. That's a joke. That's fairy tale land. You are lying to yourself. You are only up where your stop loss is at. You're only up where your risk is managed. If you're in this stock and your P&L is up, you have no stop in place, you have not made a dollar. You have 100% still open to risk. And some of you guys could probably tell me every dollar you're going to spend with that profit, and you're going to realize it's just not going to happen that much. You guys get married to that number. And you're just so disappointed, so distraught. But everything, just long story short, when it comes to stocks, futures, Forex, it is all 100% candle based. I'm just moving it up. Options, a little bit more alert. But how much do you like making on the day? Yeah, it might pull back and tag me out, or it might just go to zero. So I like to just lock in the profit and call it good. Any concern about a bunch of transport stocks got crushed on Friday? Well, I'm not long on them, no. It sounds like it would have been cool if I was short those. I don't really have any concern about that, though. You think selling puts on margin is a good idea? Anything on margin is risky. So first of all, with margin, that is, you got to ask yourself, if you can't make money with your own money, what makes you think you can do it with someone else's money? Because now you're just going to own twice as much. I get the attraction there, because selling puts, guys, it's like getting paid to put a limit order out there. Like, so I sell forward puts all the time. Now I'll sell the 1550s. I'll do it again next week. I'll sell the 1550s. You'll make quite literally just a few bucks per contract. So here's the 1550s. Yes, you'll make, right now I would make $6. $6 per contract. Now if it never goes there, then I just got to collect the free money, the free $6. But if it goes there, I'm spending $1,500 to buy 100 shares of Ford at 1550. Now, doing that on margin is just the same question of, if Ford was at that price, would you spend that much money and buy 100 shares? If the answer is yes, and you understand the risk, then by all means, that's what it's there for. But I'm not scared of margin. I don't really care. Some people are, they're a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? They just don't understand the risk they're taking on, and they're just like, they see that buying power and they're all about it. They got to use up every dollar, and then they're confused when a margin call happens. They understand it almost looks like a bell curve. The more it goes up, the more you have. The more it goes down, the whole lot more you don't have. Let's see. The fact that you can see the candles on your options contract with TradeStation, you have to show this. If you don't, you can even do it on TOS. If you can't do that, then yeah, I would leave that broker. And I just had this talk with my mentorship group the other day. Why are you guys with some of these crap brokers? The 50 cents per an option contract, is that much to you? That's what's setting you back? We got to pay a commission? Robinhood's cool. I actually really like Robinhood. And same with Webull, these free stuff. The free's popping up everywhere. Your broker does not know you exist. They do not care about you. You're not getting Christmas cards, a basket of flowers, or a wine basket when you have a baby. Like, do they do that when you have a baby? I don't know. They don't care about you at all. It is just strictly a numbers game. So why do you care so much about your brokerage? I call TOS a POS. Like, hey, if it rhymes with POS, it probably sucks. I mean, look at this charting platform. What a hilarious joke. Hey, what time frame? I used to hate it. People like, hey, Don, are you on the 180-day 4-hour? I'm like, no, I'm not, because I have a real charting platform. I'm just on the 4-hour, and I can scroll however far back I want. The only thing cool about TOS is their options chain is flawless, but if you can't do that, then it's time to roll out. Get another one. Take your funds out, put it somewhere else. Yeah, you just go to the, it's been a while, but I think you can just, where's the copy? Go to charts, paste. So there's the underlying, and then there's the options contract going up or down. Let's get off the 4 hour. So gaps everywhere. But yeah, let's say I bought a call right here. It pushed up. I'd probably have my stop in place right there. Or if maybe I bought it at the open and I saw that, I put my stop in place there. And look, my P&L would be up. And if I didn't move my stop loss up, it'd be right back down. Oh, actually, that's a whole nother trading day. It would have just gapped down on you. Would have sucked.
Sure. What do you want to turn on?
Nothing. Please just turn off.
Okay.
Why is everything talking to me? You guys hear that? That was a woman's voice. My mentorship group it's only happened with them playing. It's usually a man talking. I don't like smart stuff anymore. Until it's smart enough to know I'm not talking to it, we're at that mid stage. Alright. Let's talk about Tesla real quick. Or let's just burn through futures. This has been a very untraditional. We're not in a forex play, are we? Well, welcome everybody that are here. Hit the thumbs up button for me real fast. This is typically how we would start off a stream, as I'll go through the dollar, the Russell, the NASDAQ, the S&P. Per this one, like you see in the title, we're going to go over Tesla, then take a couple calls from you guys. Futures just have nothing to talk about, so it's been kind of a rant day. But I do like talking to you guys. TOS fills are trash, though. Trying to get them to tag you out as a nightmare. Are you doing limit fills or market fills? On that note, maybe you are or not. Guys, I would never use a stop limit. That's for clowns. Absolute beginners. You know absolutely nothing. If you ever tried to argue that to me, like let's say you have experience and you're trying to argue that with me, I would... No, there's no way. If you're going to get Colton, I can't approve that last comment. I got a question. If you're going to get a ton of shares for investing, isn't it always better to use in-the-money options and just exercise them if it has liquid options? Why would you want to exercise them? That's the question. But yeah, so if I'm ever talking about that, we call it going synthetic long. It's what you'll, and that's not a term I made up. But yeah, so I don't want to ruin it. Let's talk about Facebook. Give me 1 second. Oh my gosh, I just realized something. I'm using the calculator right now. All right, let's talk. So let's buy 100 shares of Facebook, and yeah, I got the calculator. Check the math. That's actually $22,485. But you want to invest. Hey, I want to actually invest in that. You like the company, so let's go. Here's a January of 24. This is $5,000 for an at-the-money contract. Now you could go deep in the money. Here the deepest in the money. Here we go. We're at 95 strike on Tesla. That will cost you $14,000. You'll control about 93 shares. As that pops up, it'll be 100. You can exercise it later. That will cost you $14,000 in premium to do so. So, yeah, and then your average cost will be $95. You already paid that premium just in time value, and then real value. Anything in the shaded area is real value plus time value. So you're still paying for a year's worth of time on that. But yeah, if you wanted to... Let's say you liked Facebook's movement. You wanted to buy the dip right now. You could spend $23,000 on Facebook and buy 100 shares, and you can ride that wave up and down. Or you can buy this 95 strike for the 2024, at least for the next year, and you'll see the same movements. What is a stop limit? Oh man, nothing you should ever worry about. Do you think leaps on AMD are a good idea, or Facebook, or SPY? I'm in a Facebook leap. Just be like Don and own 2K shares of it. Facebook. Facebook's a beast. Why wouldn't you? And then you sell calls against it. which you could do that. By the way, last one. It's a poor man's covered call if you guys do want to YouTube it or pay attention to my streams. If you bought this, you technically have that. You could use that as a collateral. So you could pay your $14,000 on this. Then you come up here and you can just start selling calls against it. You can go way out of the money. So your expected move is $12. You can go just a couple standard deviations out. You can collect $100 on that contract. It'll expire worthless. And you just keep going. You take that $100, take it right off of that. The goal for me when I do that is to make that contract free. Wait, you don't just do a mental stop loss? No, because you'd have to be mental to think that actually works. All right, so if you are new here, we start with the dollar again, Russell, NASDAQ, S&P, then Tesla. Then I'm going to do a couple calls from you guys. Then I have to get to my mentorship group. All right. Is it time to go long the dollar? Is that what we're doing? Do we need to short this is the question. Oh, that does. That kind of looks like we should short this. There's your bear flag forming. We are going to short this right now, as a matter of fact. If that's the case, you likely would see a market pullback this week. Not always a correlation, but sometimes I do. I'm going to keep my stop nice and tight. I'm going 25 pips away, which is actually still in that zone. Just outside of it. Anyway, I'm short that right now. Based on your YouTube live example, is this a pennant flag? Which one? This right here? That broke up? Looks like it. This is probably more of a drop and a base. All right, as far as the Russell goes, I'm in this one and the S&P, by the way. You always use a daily chart trade Forex? Yeah. Yeah, Forex I'm on a higher time frame. And that's because while there are billions traded in the stock market every day, there are trillions traded in the Forex market. That's where banks go to manipulate other banks. You go try to play super trader in there on a smaller time frame, you'll probably just get chopped up, if we're being realistic. There's a lot of Forex scams on there that like to tell you they can do this and that, and I'd just be careful with Forex. That's a different animal. At least the color's red on this because we've opened up. We've been chatting this whole entire time. It's done nothing. So what I like about the IWM is that it was horizontal. This is like the best picture perfect when things are hitting a zone like that. Instant sell, 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 sell. No real follow through. Some sellers are showing up but no follow through. This is a play we even talked about in the mentorship group. It's time to go long because of it based out. So we caught that move up. Now a break hit that zone, but a break and a retest is an awesome play. I take those quite literally all the time. So I am long this. But I'd like to... It'd be annoying to play ping pong back and forth here. I'd like it to just go up, base out, and make that next move up. But if it does breaks this wick down here, I will be short the IWM. Went long on IWM at the retest of Russell. Yeah, I like that. As far as tech goes, that was my alert to buy some more. And maybe that'll go off. We talked about, anyway, legs again. Testing this purple zone would just be a perfectly fine pullback. Yeah, I'll take a loss right here. I'll buy this type 2 on that zone if we do get there. We're not really pricing in much this week, so when I say we're not pricing in much, like the Qs are pricing in a $9 move. If you trade QQQ, we're pricing in a $9 move. It's $9 up, $9 down. That's where the market makers have risk priced in. We get outside that move, now they got to start delta hedging. They got to start accounting for shares. Some of the AMC might recognize that terminology because you're thinking gamma squeeze. I know all about that. It's a little bit different because it's how the market actually works. But when we have a nothing week like this, Amazon and Tesla are awesome for this because they price in a $20 move and then it starts to get crazy because we do get outside of that. So I'm not really worried if we get out until we get outside of that. Boring week, and thus come up with a surprise catalyst. Something crazy happens. Putin's like, yeah, we're going to pull out of this, but then JK, we double down. The war continues on. Maybe that might surprise some people. They tried the whole new variant thing. Market didn't really react to that. So who knows? Maybe they come up with a new excuse. Without that, I don't see a huge move in the markets this week. S&P, same thing. So pulling back to this purple zone, I still like. I would really prefer this alert going off. That's where I'd really like to buy, because right now that's still just a excuse me about that. Sorry, this is hardly a pullback, just for this trend, just to kind of keep this trend going. It's just a pullback. Get a nice solid red leg down, and that's where I'm taking on considerably more risk buying. Do you think the S&P will go below the 200? The $200 mark? No, we're pretty far up above there. Or do you really mean the 200 SMA or EMA? Will you let me know which 200 you're talking about? And then I'll explain to you why I'll never actually care about that. The Fed minutes come out this week also. So prepare for, that's probably what, Wednesday? Prepare for some volatility. What about GME? You said something? Ape game checking in. You mean the 200 moving average? Hang on, which one is that? SPX. Let's pull it up. I have it up here. Some people like that one. 200 moving average. Let's see. No. Hopefully not. We could just cruise into that. Unless it takes some time, then the 200 moving average would be like right here. So right now, no. But let's say that happens. Then yeah, I think we'll go below it. We'll hit my alert, and then we'll bounce. And then someone will say, see, told you that 200 was going to hold. And then it'll look like that. And then stocks will just continue to go up. The 200 will still kind of roll up. And then just to keep, it's fun. Why not? We'll just keep it going. We'll hit that zone. We'll pull back. Boom, 200 moving day average. Should have called it. On the 1 day chart? That's fine. Oh, that changes everything. Time frames, people. Yeah, I do. Do I think it'll go below 200 moving day average on the daily? Yep, because it's right here, and that's my alert. And if we pull back this week, yeah. Sorry if that's like anyone's real trading strategy, and I just made fun of it. I know a lot of people do look at that. I'm just joking around. It'll probably look like that. Blast right on through, come right on back up, make you think everything's good, come right on, and then bouncing on again. Just connected there a few times. The cool thing about this is I have the worst luck ever in the world, so we'll probably just base out the whole week. It'll hold that, and then I'll look like the clown. Did you also care about the death cross a few weeks ago? Imagine getting bearish at that cross, which was the exact bottom. Where's that? Where's the 50? That's the EMA. Do I have a 50 moving average? Ooh, RIP. That sucks. Yeah, and to be clear, guys, I'm joking around. I don't use indicators. These are popular ones that people will ask me about. What's the purple zone for? Purple's a weekly zone. So if you see a bunch of like this interaction, weekly. Yellow zones are what you'll probably see a lot of the bounces off of from here. Let's talk about Tesla. Pricing in an $80 move. Okay, so here's the thing. They originally expectations were 312,000. Now Shanghai shut down from COVID. Oh, I shouldn't say that word. The other virus. Is it too late? I tried to piss off Google. They already pissed me off enough. So, I don't know. So after that, they kind of dialed things back down to 309,000. So there's our margins. 312. Okay. Since everything was shut down and supply chain issues and all that, we still expect you to make 309,000. They beat by 1,000, which is 310. Do you hold more weight in weekly or your yellow zones? Kind of depends on the market, but yellows, because I trade a little more actively, yellow zones. Yellow zones, the only difference between a daily and the 4 hour is literally one candle. So I'm watching the yellow zones more, just being active. So we got a technical beat by Tesla. So as a trader, I don't know if that's to the moon status. I don't know if that's sell anything. Personally, that is nothing to me. There's nothing exciting or bad. I wouldn't short the stock off of that, and I wouldn't really buy it off of that, at least for the following week. Now, as an investor, the first quarter is the worst quarter for auto manufacturers. That's the slowest time. So what that shows off is nothing new. Demand is awesome. Tesla just opened up the Giga Berlin. They're rolling cars out there, and the one in Texas. So next quarter is probably going to be pretty exciting. Next quarter I expect to see some movement next quarter. Because markets, the Wall Street's pretty dumb when it comes to Tesla. They still talk about valuation and all that. And there's so much ridiculous growth in Tesla that even when they price in growth, Tesla still just surpasses it. That's a good and bad because, like right now, 309,000, we did 310. Everyone's like, nah, that's cool, but we expect our star athlete not just to be number one. We expect there to be a gap, a margin, not just like, yeah, you beat. So Sam says, I appreciate your wisdom. I appreciate you being here. And everybody else. And everyone who hit the thumbs up. Appreciate you guys. I really do. Fed Minutes Wednesday. 6 at 2 on EDT. What's that in Hong Kong time? I don't know. Yeah, next quarter, not that it means much now as a trader. I expect us to price in something and then they blow that out of the water. Like, as in not even close. So next quarter, I'm in calls this one. But I will be in probably a couple more next. But Tesla always kills it, and Elon called Q1 exceptionally difficult. I know industries are different, but if Tesla is struggling in Q1, I'm expecting some bad Q1 earnings. It was exceptionally difficult. They still beat. It was difficult because Shanghai is shut down. Shanghai moves through some cars. So that being shut down definitely puts a hurt on it. Supply chain issues. The fact that that was still exceptionally difficult and they still beat expectations, I think, is good. Margins will stay the same. The cool thing about that is Tesla does make money, despite what people like to think. But if you look at all the other auto manufacturers, I bet they're not even close to that. I bet they're getting smashed. As far as earnings go, earnings are usually a dud for Tesla. Some people usually get offended by that. But the delivery numbers typically tell you everything you need to know. So that's where most of the movement happens, and then earnings happens, and it's a quick little candle up, candle down, maybe another candle up. They started prioritizing orders with full self-driving, so margins might be crazy on earnings. It might see a little run. I hope so. That would be cool. That'd be a little surprise. As far as this week coming up, though, I'm very, like, Tesla really, I think this weekend was highly anticipated. And I think everybody's looking around like, should we be long? Should we be short? You know, the bullish crowd is like, oh my God, record setting. The bearish crowd is like, haha, they barely beat. Which sounds hilarious to me, but thank you for doing this on YouTube so consistently over the years. Appreciate it. I appreciate you. I know this sounds bad, but I'm kind of glad the market's slowing down. I'm seeing YouTubers falling off. Not that I don't want them to do well, but they shared some bad stuff. That's funny, Bruce. Eastern Daylight Time. Oh, yeah, EDT. Okay. I know. So in my, if you guys are ever in any of my chats, I guarantee I poke fun at you if you tell me something on Pacific time or any other time like that, because I'm on Central and I'll play dumb every time. It's a whole lot easier. We do it in countdown format. Hey, this news comes out 2 hours after open, because no matter where you're at, right, California, Florida, or Hong Kong, you know when the stock market opens, and you know how to count 2 hours after that. Or it's 1 hour before close. You know, the Fed minutes are typically 2 hours before close. Have you heard about the Dodge SRT Hydra they're trying to build? No. What's a Hydra? We talking an actual boat, or are they going to do something weird with hydrogen? I don't think it really matters where everyone thinks Tesla's going. It's all about where they want it. It is. That's the cool thing about the stock market, though, is arguing is fun. Just kidding. It's all about buyers and sellers, and whoever has more of that opinion wins. It's like big bank takes little bank every day. So that's why I really don't get when I see people going back and forth in the chat. It's like really trying to argue politics. Like, here's the answer key. It's right in front of you. We're all looking at the same chart. Like when people show up in the comments and tell me how bearish they are or how bullish they're, like that's cool and all. But don't try to convince me. I'm looking at the same chart you are. I know the answers because there they are. If you don't like the video, your favorite stock will gap down. This is true. Happy birthday, Mrs. Fran. I will tell her. Other time zones don't count. Hydra is April Fool's? I hope so. You know what I'm really hoping wasn't April Fool's, and I haven't looked into it? This is very upsetting, especially if people have been watching my channel for a while. Apparently, I can't buy another car. I bought the Tesla... Well, sorry, I tried. Tried to buy the Tesla Model Plaid, the Model S Plaid, right, with the extended battery. Elon cancels it. I tried to buy a Corvette Z06, the C8 Z06, and they say they canceled it. I'm going to try to buy one more fast car, and if that doesn't pan out, I'm buying an actual monster truck, and I'm going to pay the ticket every time I drive it because it will not be road legal. If it's not obnoxiously fast, it will be obnoxiously big. 3 lanes wide is the only way I'm buying it. So I hope that's not the case. We can talk about GME. Let's do a couple calls real quick before I get to my group. I do have to get to them. GameStop puts. All right, so this actually caught that gap up after they announced a dividend split. So kind of like we haven't heard from Tesla, but they'll announce, hey, we're doing a 15%. So instead of giving you 15% cash, they'll dilute it. They'll add shares. You'll own more of the company. It'll all equal out to just like a split would. So GME thought, hey, that sounds cool. Remember what happened when Apple and Tesla did that last year? Now all the cool kids are talking about a split. I want to join that group, but I don't want to actually split. So let's do a dividend split because Tesla just did it. Anyway, that was a rumor. I don't know if it's ever confirmed. Did gap up. It did sell off. If you're watching GameStop right now, and in all seriousness, guys, look at the daily candle right here on GameStop. I don't care what your opinion is or anything else. Here's that answer key I was literally just telling you guys about. Put your alert right here on these 2 yellow lines. If you don't have my charts, you can click the join button next to subscribe. You can join my mentorship. You guys have my charts. You can literally go to TradingView, type in whatever ticker you want, and the little magic boxes show up there. And all you do is right click on that, add an alert, click create, boom. When that goes above that, it'll let you know. When it goes below that line, sorry, I don't like doing it on zones. When it goes below, now I'll know. That's where I would go short. This is where I would go long. Let's say it hangs out inside here for the next 3 weeks. I'll just make it simple. Here's what I'll do. I'll do that. And then, yeah, bullish above, bearish below. Could be a wick, could not. You'll get that alert every time. They said just kidding next morning. Buy a Chevy 67 Impala. They're going to the moon. I wish. I almost got one from my uncle. It's a 65 special edition SS convertible. It was going to be a fully restored before he passed away. But if I buy anything, it will be a 69. Not because anything from 69 is amazing, by the way. And I do want one. It's going to be an El Camino. I don't know. Camaro used to be my favorite, but I think I do want a Charger, El Camino. I could do a GTO. I've already had a GTO. Or just a Chevelle. I don't know. I do want an old muscle car like that. What's my favorite food? Edible. Yeah, I don't like mushrooms or tomatoes. Edible, I like. I'm not picky. Some might argue Chipotle might be my favorite food. It's definitely up there. AMD. Man, what? Hang on a second. Okay, never mind. What I played last week was AMD. I rode the shares up. And then I had an NVIDIA put because I thought that was going to move faster. Man, was I wrong on that. But those did tag out that day. I missed that wicked gap down. I should have shorted. I'll tell you what, I feel like buying it when we get to there again. Expiration? No, let's just not. Come on. So I'm going to put my alert right here on AMD. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you should know why. That is entirely obvious. These are my alerts. When that goes off, I'm going to click the buy button. That's how I trade. I do all my planning at night when nothing is moving. There's no emotions, no nothing. I'm of clear, sound mind. That's what I like to see. And when it gets down there, I don't care what excuse gets it there. That's why I don't really watch the news. I'll buy it. It's horizontal until not. I saw somebody ask, it was Walmart. James, I know you usually watch after. I'm going to do Walmart after because I told you I would. Kramer said he wants it on AMD. So, of course, it died. That's fine. Whatever gets it there. Did he say it right about here at this yellow box? Hang on, I'm going to get rid of these real quick. If it turns around, so sandwich with the. I like AMD. If it's that'll let me know what's going on. Possibly setting up a bear flag. We'll see. These blue bumps are speed bump zones, so just check them out. He did actually. That's awesome. Stick around if you're new. Hit the subscribe button. Turn the bell on, and you'll just see how many coincidences like that actually happen. But anyway, I'm going to buy AMD at this box. So if it goes below that, I'm going to take the L. Here's what my trade's going to look like. That alert's going to go off. I'm going to click the buy button right about there. I'm going to put my stop below this wick, which is going to be, gosh, I'm going to give it 98.85 right there. Here's going to be my entry. We'll call it 102.85 to 98.85. Why can't I do the math? $4? Jeez. So $4 per share. If I only want to risk $10, you know how many shares I'm going to buy? Two. That's going to be awesome because I'm going to buy 2 shares. And when that sells off, I'm going to be under my risk of $10. There's my take profit. I will take that actual trade when that alert goes off. Hi, Don. I sent you a message. Hopefully not on Instagram because I got a lot of fake accounts. And I even have a Tinder. All of which are not me. So, sorry. Where did you send me a message, Kate? Is it on Discord? And what is your Discord name? When to take the L on HD? Well, here's the thing. Those questions should all be answered before you ever click the buy button. And I would not want it breaking this zone at all. Right here. 298.35. Email. Okay. I just checked my email, I swear. It was a Don Fron trading? Unless that's Cat, then I already replied. Check your spam. HD's the Imagine box. Yeah, I like Home Depot right here. Here's where I don't like Home Depot. Breaking that. So here's the exact trade. Let's say you're like, man, is it too late? No. Fun fact, it's not. Unless it gaps below that, then that would suck. Then yeah, then it is. 298.35. Man, there's a lot of sellers showing up right here. So, your take profit. You need to have your stop managed in the green right there. Now, we can put this green box wherever you want. Whatever gets you to sleep at night, however emotional you want to get, it doesn't matter. Here's where your sellers are really going to show up right off the bat. So I'll have my stop in the green right about here. As soon as it gets to that probably 320 mark, I will put my stop at 314.85. That's where I like the 85-cent mark. And if that bases out, I'm still in it. It continues. I'm on the game train. If not, do you think Palantir goes back under 10? It's got to get above that first. Do I think so? I didn't charge my crystal ball last night. Sorry. I wouldn't be entirely bullish till it gets above this yellow zone. And if it gets below that, bearish. So right now, I know a lot of YouTubers are pumping Palantir. I think I have it in my investment account. I like it for that. As a trade goes, it's just not, it's no fun. It kind of sucks. I have that alert there just to check it out. Got earnings coming up. I don't know. Here's what I don't like doing. I don't like buying things as it's coming into a zone where I'm looking for sellers. As we test that zone from the bottom, we're looking for sellers, and so far there they are. They're showing up. Now, if we start getting above that, then that's a different story. I've been a ghost follower pretty much, but you have helped me tremendously. That's awesome, man. I have stops with every trade now, and I'm not scared of making money. I trail. Man, that is so cool. Finally, I love when you guys repeat stuff back to me when I say stuff like that. Some people are just so afraid of making money. Here's a green candle. Take your money and run. You don't go broke locking in profits. They lock in $3. Bag hold something down 3,000. All right, we got a couple more. Amazon. Congrats, Gabe. I really appreciate that. That's my alert to buy more Amazon. I'm not short it right now. It's kind of an awkward spot to short, but I do want to buy it right there. I was looking for a higher low on Palantir to get back in. Sold at that zone. Nice. John says that's me. Stop doing it. Some things are easier said than done, but really you don't have to lose money like that. That's just you put a stop in place and call it good. Just make sure all those questions are answered. Like, hey, where am I selling this? Where am I going to get out of this ticker? Find that line. Now your entry. There's where you're getting out. How much per share? How many shares do you want to buy? How much are you willing to risk? Eleanor Mustang could sum one pike. I don't know what that means. Could sum one pike up? Could sum one pike one up? I don't know. I'm having a stroke even reading that. But the Eleanor Mustang I would buy right now. It would be amazing. Best way to calculate your options contract with long or short tool on TradingView? Oh, I've never done that. And I would not want to guess or pretend to even know. With options contracts, you have to understand their movement. It's a whole other asset class. It's not just buy calls because it's going up, buy puts because it's going down. You really got to understand deltas, how it works, how gamma's going to affect that, where vega's going. Despite what everyone else leads you to believe, delta has 11 definitions. Yeah, not just one. Oh, when it goes up $1, that's how much it goes up. Tells you the characteristics of that. So with that, like I have an idea. When Amazon drops this much, here's a $40 zone. I can just look at this and tell you how much my contract's going to go down as soon as it goes up. All right, so let's do April 22nd. So I'm going to buy an at-the-money call right now. Here's your call side. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to spend, $8,800 on this contract. We're just going to market buy this thing. Okay, now Amazon goes to a red candle, $30. So right now, $40. Puts us at the 30 mark. 32.70 should be 32. I'm losing my mind. 33.10. So I'm thinking backwards up here. So as that leaves, as that red candle goes against me, take your $40, move it down the options chain right there. Take $40 off, pow, puts it right there. Now my contract is now worth $6,900. So if you don't like that move, you probably can't afford to play. That's how I'll manage my risk. Like, okay, how many contracts do I want to buy knowing I'm about to lose, a couple grand? That would be a typical zone play. At that point, I'm probably only going to buy one, maybe two if I'm bullish. But that's why I like the type 2 areas. Because it's either that or don't ever do this because it's the dumbest way you could trade options. You only have $1,000 in your account. Just kidding. You only want to risk $1,000. So you buy the contract you can afford. So I put my risk in my capital. I do this on earnings plays, typically not on Amazon. And I tell us in my mentorship chat, when I'm taking this play, it's going to zero or it's making me money. Those are the only two options. So I've either looked at the contract and thought, okay, if this happens, I'm going to lose about 50% of this contract. Do I want to lose that few thousand? Yes or no? If I do, I buy it. Or Amazon's quite literally the worst case scenario for this. I put my risk in capital, meaning my capital is that call. I'm going to risk that much, and it goes to 0 because that's my stop loss. 0. I don't have to pay the commissions because I'm not even going to sell it. It's going to go away for free. Or it goes in the green. I put my stop in the green. A little bit easier to do with something like NVIDIA or some of the smaller. If it's only a couple, $300 for the contract, then I'm probably going at the money, and I'll probably only buy a couple, and I'll just say green or not. Sold a lot of 14 covered calls that expire Friday, reducing your cost on Palantir. Nice. Selling options to the YOLOers way down there. Now, yeah, that's more my style. Hey, bud, give me your $1,000. Darn it, it didn't happen. Let's try again next week. I got faith you're going to win this time. I love selling to the YOLOers. This has no volume in it. Man, not only are we already at a spot where a bunch of sellers have shown up, I would have rather bought down here. If I was able to catch this area right here, yeah, especially where we're based out, I'd have my stop in the green. I'd put my stop at 81.35. I wouldn't be buying it right now. We'd have to base out here for me to get in. I just love selling options. I like a little bit of everything. What's up, Lori? I need to get back on Merlin's show. We got a great question for Merlin. Lori, don't let me forget. I meant to text him. But I want to ask Merlin, does he still think the top is in for the year? I think this is going to be a good video for us. But yeah, a lot of people really... I like to do everything. Futures, Forex, buy options, sell options. It's very rare. I'll go out of the money. But a lot of people love just kicking their feet up on their desk, selling options contracts, calling it good. If you have the capital for it, man, it's hard to pass up free money. I really get it. So anyway, I do have to hop off here. I appreciate everybody that did show up. I'll be live again on Tuesday, and then Thursday you get a pre-recorded video. So mentorship, don't go anywhere. We're coming right now. We're gonna go. We're starting live right now. Oh no, yeah, Lori, tell him that's what I want to come on the show. We're gonna have that conversation, me and him. Because I'm telling, he thinks it is. I don't think it is. I think the market sees all-time highs again this year. What was the last thing I was? Oh, I'll end it here. If you get the trading suite, it doesn't really say it on the website. The trading suite has everything. You will get an email from me and an invite to the mentorship that has everything for life. So anyway, that's the teachable link down below. Everything else, see you guys all on Tuesday.